Hello everyone. Today we'll be doing some questions from JEE for the chapter Electric Charges and Fields. This is the first question. A charge plus Q is kept inside an uncharged thick spherical conducting shell as shown in the figure. The electric field lines for the situation are best given by the option. So this is the figure we have and you have to figure out from these options which of these is the correct one. So for the first one, let's work on the diagram first. So we know that from any conducting surface, or let's say any Gaussian surface, the electric field lines coming must be perpendicular to the surface. So outside, we are pretty sure the electric field lines would be going like this. And we also know that electric field lines cannot go through the surface. So we can cancel both option C and option B. Now, another thing is that since it's perpendicular over here, it should also be perpendicular inside the surface. So these could be, or these must be, the electric field lines. And so we must connect all of these to these lines so that it will be correct. Now if you look at option A, here we have direct straight lines from the charge, but as you can see over here, this one is not perpendicular to the surface. It's just a straight line from the charge. It's not following the rule that the electric field lines must be perpendicular to the surface. So with that, we can cancel option A, we can cancel option B since electric field lines can't go through the surface, and cancel option C for the same reason as option B. So therefore option D is the correct answer for this question. So let's go to the next question. A charged ball B hangs from a silk thread S, which makes an angle theta with a large charged conducting sheet P, as shown in the figure. The surface charge density sigma of the sheet is proportional to A sin theta, B tan theta, C cos theta, or D cot theta. So for this, we need to understand all the forces acting in this system. So since there's a wire, there must be a tension acting here. Now this ball would have some mass, which is mg, and since this is a charged ball and this sheet also has a charge, that means there must be some electric force between them. Therefore, assuming that they are opposite charges, same charges, we can say there is a force QE acting away from the sheet on the ball. So here we can now resolve the tension to get T cos theta, because this is also theta, and over here T sin theta. And from this we get two equations, which T cos theta equal to mg and T sin theta equal to QE. Now E over here can be replaced by sigma by epsilon naught, because since this is a conducting infinitely long electric sheet, the electric field due to that would be sigma by epsilon naught. So if this is 1 and this is 2, we do equation 2 by equation 1, we get tan theta is equal to Q into sigma by mg epsilon naught, which is, if we take sigma outside, we get Q by mg epsilon naught into sigma, where Q is the charge of the ball, which is not changing. M is the mass of the ball, which is not changing. G is the universal gravitational constant, which is not changing, and epsilon naught is also a constant, which does not change. Therefore, we can replace this all with a constant. Let's say K for this question is equal to K times sigma, get tan theta. The question is asking us the surface charge density sigma of the sheet is proportional to. So here we get a direct relation that sigma is directly proportional to tan theta. Therefore, option B, tan theta, is the correct answer for this question. Let's do the next question. 5 balls numbered 1 to 5 are suspended using separate threads. Pairs 1, 2, 2, 4, and 4, 1 show electrostatic attraction, while pair 2, 3, and 4, 5 show repulsion. Therefore, ball 1 must be. So here we can refer to three types of charges: positive charge, negative charge, and neutral. And since one shows attraction with another body, which means that it cannot be an insulator, so option D we can directly count it out. Now it says that one attracts two, so this can mean that either one or two is charged and the other is neutral, or these are oppositely charged. Now we also know that 2 and 4 attracts each other, therefore we can say the same conclusion about them. And we also know that 4 and 1 attract each other. Now let's assume that 2 is neutral and 1 has some charge. This means over here 2 can also be, let's say 1 has a charge positive, 2 is neutral, so over here 4 must be positive or negative, but from here we get 1 is positive, so 4 must be negative, in which case this 3 would hold true. And then we have 2, 3 and 4, 5 show repulsion. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we assume 2 to be neutral. However, 2 cannot be neutral because it shows repulsion with 3, whichever charge it may be. I mean, if it's negative, then 2 must also have a negative charge in order to induce repulsion. If 3 is positive, 2 needs to have positive charge to get to show repulsion. So therefore 2 is neutral is a wrong statement. So therefore we have to start again with our assumption, a different assumption. So we have 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 1. So if 2 is not, let's say 1 is positive, 2 is negative, 2 is negative, 4 is positive, but then, or 4 can be neutral. 4 can be either positive or neutral, but since 1 is positive, 4 over here must be neutral. So, and then we have 2, 3, 4, 5 shows repulsion. However, this cannot be possible since 4 is neutral and 5 shows repulsion with 4, which means 5 and 4 must have the same type of charge. So if 5 is positive, 4 must be positive, 5 is negative, 4 must be negative. Therefore 4 cannot be neutral. So the only option we have left is 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 1, that 1 is neutral and 2 is, let's say, positive or negative, which means there's 2 more cases. But if 2 is positive, then 4 can be neutral or negative. But since 1 is neutral, 4 must have a charge in order to attract 1. So 4 must be negative. And we have 2, 3, 4, 5 shows repulsion. So 2 is positive, 3 is positive, 4 is negative, 5 is negative to show repulsion. Now, if 2 is negative, then all of this would be interchanged, which means it would have, which would also be possible according to the given situations. So in both of these, the common factor is that 1 is neutral because 1 does not participate in any repulsion, while 2 and 4 participates in repulsion. So therefore, from here we can say that ball 1 must be neutral material. So option C, neutral metal, is the correct answer. Therefore, other options are wrong. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. For more of such videos, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Tata for now.